Today I'm going to talk about how to leverage your existing content using the Snowball Strategy. Let's talk about it. So I've got a quick little tip for you guys. I call it the Snowball Strategy, and it's something that just about any business can start applying today. So if you picture a snowball rolling down a hill, it starts off very small, but as it begins building momentum, it grows bigger and bigger. So this same concept can be applied to any kind of content that you deliver to your audience. So that might be a blog post or a video, it doesn't really matter. But the idea here is that we're trying to build momentum and continue building a stronger relationship with our audience just based on the way that we deliver our content to our audience. So let me demonstrate what that looks like. So the first thing I'm going to show you is what a lot of businesses currently do. They have a piece of content, a blog or a video, and they try and get their audience to view it, right? So that audience watches it and they're interested in it, right? This is supposed to be a flame. So this is representing that they're gaining value from it, they're warming up to your brand. So what happens from here? And this is where a lot of businesses miss an opportunity. Sadly, not much. Time goes by, and that business fails to re-engage that audience until one day, eventually, they create a new piece of content. They introduce it to their audience. But by this point, because so much time has passed, their interest in that brand has diminished, right? So you have to begin building that relationship over, building up that momentum again once this time has passed and you're introducing this new piece of content. So what I would recommend doing is this. When you offer a piece of content initially, you want to have a strong call to action to get that audience to read another piece of content that you've already created. So rather than wasting any time, you want them to go immediately into a second piece of content. And then from there, the same thing. We want them to go into a third piece of content. And we want to keep doing this, just keep building momentum, because what happens when your audience sees this first piece of content, they're warmed up, they're interested, and a portion of them are going to want more. So if you have a strong call to action and you try and re-engage them by sending them to another related and equally valuable piece of content, their interest in your brand is going to grow. They're going to warm up to you until eventually they're on fire. So by this point, you've delivered them an insane amount of value in a short period of time, and that relationship that you've developed with them has strengthened because you're building momentum off them. Now, the interesting thing about this is that the content between example A and example B might be the exact same. The only difference is the way that you're delivering it to your audience and the call to action that you're trying to initiate through this example B. So how do you achieve this? Well, you can do this in any number of different ways, but the key is that you have a strong call to action. So if this is a blog post, maybe you have an embedded form that encourages your audience to download a free PDF document, and then that free PDF document is this second piece of valuable content. Maybe you have a pop-up saying, hey, we have a related blog post that is related to this piece of content that you're currently enjoying. Why don't you go check that out? Again, you're going to send them to that second piece of blog post, and then from there, you're going to have a strong call to action to send them to something else. Maybe you're trying to get them to sign up for your email list. Maybe you're trying to get them to go to your YouTube channel, or maybe another social platform. Another strategy I think works well is having a series of content. So if you have some sort of mini course or some kind of follow-along series like this, perhaps, you would have episode 1, where you would offer a small piece of valuable content, and then episode 2 would build directly off of that, and it would provide a lot of incentive for that person to click onto it, right? If there's a sequence of information that you've developed into a series of content, that's going to provide real incentive. If people find value in this first piece of content, they're going to be highly interested in episode 2. And the reason this works so well is because of this concept called micro-engagement. And I'm going to create a video that talks specifically about that at a later time. But the whole idea behind micro-engagement is that you're building trust, building a relationship with your audience. And the reason this works is because you're initiating, or you're encouraging your audience to initiate some sort of action or behavior, albeit often a tiny behavior, like clicking on a link or even liking a photo. It's a tiny behavior that, a lot of us probably don't even think twice about. But when they perform that action and they are rewarded with a valuable piece of content, their trust with your brand goes up, and that's valuable. So whenever possible, you want to try and encourage your audience to take these micro engagements with your brand. And one of the best ways to do that is with this snowball strategy, trying to build off that momentum that you're initiating with this first piece of content and trying to get them to read the rest of your content. Don't waste any time in between. If you have something valuable to say, if you have people coming to this piece of content that enjoy it, there's a good portion of them that are going to want more. And if you're not able to deliver that to them, even if you have content on your site, like let's say they come to your site, they read your content, they like it, there's no guarantee that they're going to go click into your blog and try and locate another article. You need to take them by the hand and show them what they want to see. You need to be very clear about the journey they should be taking throughout your brand journey. Make it as easy for them as possible. So once they're on this initial piece of content, you've done a lot of work to get them here likely. You've built up an audience on social media, maybe you're using paid advertisement to get them to this piece of content. Don't waste that opportunity. Once they're here, show them where exactly you want them to go next, what you think they might find valuable. And this is a lot easier if you have a lot of data on your site. Like let's say you're getting thousands of people visiting your site, you have a lot of content, you notice that a handful, maybe 4 or 5 blog posts are getting the most traffic. So you know that your audience is most interested in those particular articles. So it makes sense that any page that your audience visits, if you try and encourage them to go to your most popular blog post and then from there go to your second most popular, there's a good chance they're going to like it because a lot of other people like it. You've put a lot of time into creating each one of these content assets. Make sure you leverage them to the best of your ability.